Okay, I thought I'd rough in your plan. Go over here to edit default settings. This is the first thing you should do when you start a plan, no matter what version or title you're using. I'm going to go over to the walls under edit default settings and select exterior interior walls. And it looked like you drew with a 4-inch wall, so I'm going to set the defaults up to, well, you didn't do any elevation, so it's either siding 4 or stucco 4. I'm going to use siding 4. We'll leave the interior wall at interior 4. The next thing, I go over to dimension and click on that. And you can see that it said here to measure to the main layer. So that's going to be the outside edge of concrete foundation walls and the outside edge of framing or cinder block or whatever the structural layer is of the wall you're using. And that's for new construction, that's basically what you use. And I don't like that arrow type. I usually use, they don't have the arrow type I like. We'll just go with that. Okay. But you can and should go through here and set up all your defaults relative to how you intend to create, because the software is going to do what it's set up to do and nothing else. So if it's doing something you don't like, it's because you haven't found the setting that's bothering you and set it the way that you need to have it set. Those are the basic settings for getting started. I'm going to draw the shape of your building. I'm just going to rough it in, the first floor. You always start on the first floor. Now you can see it automatically generated roofs and dimensions. I think yours is 30 feet over here, so I'm going to click on this wall, click on that dimension, and set it to 30 feet. And then this dimension here is 27. I'm going to back up a little bit. I'm going to drag this down here because I'm going to run out of space. And click there, move this wall to 27 feet. And then your this dimension here is 30, 30 feet looks like. 30 feet. Whoops, I almost hit 30 inches. 30 feet, there we go. And that's 20 feet. So we'll click there and click there, 20 feet. So that's the basic first floor shape. You hit F6 to fill the screen. There we go. I think that's a pretty good rendition of what you had. Let me look over here. That's 40, 20, 20. I might be off a little bit. Yeah, this is 20, not 30 like I had it. I misread it. Okay, so we got the first floor very similar to what you have. And then the next thing we're going to go do is go over to Edit, Default Settings, Foundation. And you can see it's set for walls and footings. Now you can set it to monolithic slab if you want to. You can change the wall thickness and the footing height and so forth. And I'm just going to use the default settings. That's probably what you use. But you can change these so that the software just follows this setting. I can't say that often enough. The software doesn't read your mind. It doesn't have judgment. It's just a mechanical device that needs you to guide it, and it's guided by settings. So that's what it's set to do. So I'll close the defaults. We'll go over here to Build, Floor, Build Foundation. And then here again, it gives you one more chance, this dialog here, to change your mind if you want to change your mind. And click OK. And there it is, perfectly laid out. And it's enclosed, so you get a dialog box. I can further program it if I need to, because it has a closed space in this software is programmable by its room specification dialog in terms of its three-dimensional height and so forth. Let me show what this looks like in a Dollhouse Camera. So that's what it did, because that's what the defaults told it to do. We'll go up a floor. There's the first floor without the roof. And it's just a mechanical device that follows settings. So most of your learning curve is going to be figuring out and learning where the settings are and what they do and why they do what they do. So one of the reasons you didn't get dimensions before is because with this open, you had some walls open like that, and see the dimensions went away automatically because it'll only dimension enclosed spaces. I'll close that back, and you see the dimensions come right back. So I noticed that in your image that these corners weren't even, and they weren't closed, and that's why you couldn't get any dimensions. You could manually draw them, but auto dimensions will only dimension enclosed spaces enclosed by walls. So I'm going to do an overview, and you can see the whole thing together. Foundation and the first floor. And like the first floor is the first floor based on, I didn't go into that, but go to Edit, Default Settings, Floor. And I'm on the first floor, see the floor toggle says 1. And right now I've got a finished ceiling of 107 5/8. The roof ceiling is 109 1/8. And the dialog here shows what these different measurements are, where these callouts are coming from. And that's what the software does. If you don't change the ceiling height to 8 feet, well, you're going to get 9 feet every time. Or whatever the ceiling height is, we'll close this. We'll go over here to Edit, Default Settings, Floor. And I'm on the first floor. So I can change that to 96 inches in the defaults and click Done, and that'll get applied to the model. See? Picked it right up. You always want you set your defaults, and then the software follows those defaults. And the roof's auto rebuilt when I reset it, so actually the first time you saw this overview, it had a 9-foot ceiling, basically, and now it's got an 8-foot ceiling. And it's a wonderful piece of machinery, but it's just a machine, and you have to tell it where to go and what to do, and you have to know why and where those settings are. So I hope this will be helpful to you, and thanks for watching.